All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brent, and today I'm going to talk about something that means a lot to me, and hopefully it can mean a lot for all of us making a little bit of extra money this year. What I'd like to do is maybe talk about who's going to win the Super Bowl this particular year. But the reason I'm going to start this off is I'm going to actually let you know maybe who's not going to win the Super Bowl and give you a little bit of reasoning why I believe that they won't. And then I'm also going to tell you why I think one team is maybe going to win the Super Bowl. First, where I'm from, everyone wants to talk about, Cleveland Browns this, Cleveland Browns that. And if you want to be smart, Cleveland Browns just aren't the team to probably ever pick. And, we could go on and on about reasons why not to pick the Browns. And I will go through a couple of them, but how about let's start off with just Deshaun Watson being suspended. He's going to miss 11 games. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this team's going to stink and they're going to go and lose, most of their games and, that they don't have a chance to do anything. Obviously, Nick Chubb is probably the best running back, if not one of the top running backs in the league. But my biggest thing on the Cleveland Browns is, as an organization, they're just on the bottom of the barrel. Even though this is where I'm from this area, I can't put my money into the Cleveland Browns. Just organizationally, they're so far behind, and they just always find ways in which to lose. Now, do I think that there's an opportunity for them to possibly win their division? I guess that is possible. But me, I'm actually a Ravens fan. And I don't think the Ravens really have much of a chance to win a Super Bowl. And they're probably the top team in their division this year. They're going to win a lot of games, and they always will, just off of Lamar Jackson. Lamar's not my Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a great athlete, but I don't think he's the quarterback going to run any team into the championship in the NFL. And I just don't think he's ever going to be there. They're going to be winning a lot of games. They're always going to win quite a few games. They're one of the top organizations in the NFL. They're going to win a lot, but they're never going to be, a playoff winning team, Super Bowl team, champions like that. I just don't believe that that's going to happen. Some of these other teams that you might think have a chance, a lot of people were talking about San Francisco, but then you lost your quarterback. Now, you still have a pretty decent quarterback, but with Trey Lance, they were talking about him possibly being an MVP candidate, and him now being out for the season. That just knocks you down to Garoppolo. And not that Garoppolo is bad, but he's more of a not running your team quarterback. He's more like, let's just, not lose a football game type of a quarterback. You didn't see people really fighting to get him when he was kind of available this offseason. You didn't see other teams really jumping up and maybe wanting to grab him. Let's see. We got the Raiders. The Raiders, a lot of people were interested in the Raiders. They're starting off right now. They're 0-3. Not that that's the end of the world, but 0-3 in the NFL is not too many of those teams even make the playoffs. And them being in such a rough division, Even though they were in the playoffs last year, uh, I just don't think that they quite have it. Not that again that they're even a bad team, but they're not a championship team, and that's what I'm trying to find here today is the championship team. So that's where we can put our money, and that's where we can maybe make a little bit of extra cash this year. My particular pick, who I like and think is going to be a real challenger, and who I think is going to be a Super Bowl winner this year, is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The reason I like the Chiefs, I really like the fact that they're going to have to play, a lot of games in their division, that they're not going to be able to, take games off, because every team that they play is formidable. They're not playing anybody in their division that is not going to be a team where they have to actually get up for. They're not going to be able to say, hey, we're taking the day off. We're going to have to actually play every game. They're going to have to win every game. And we know when these teams play these games and win these close games and beat these good teams and have these run-ins, that it's always going to build them up for the future, which will be the playoffs and then, of course, Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, probably the best quarterback out here in the league. If he's not, he's top 2 or 3 anyways. They just spent over $500 million on him, and there's a reason why. He's an amazing quarterback. He's going to win them a lot of games. And I see even this year, even though he's gotten all this money and everything, he's not just sitting back and just relaxing and saying, hey, I already got paid, so now I don't want to get hurt. He wants to actually go out there. You can already see it this year. He wants to go out there this year, and he wants to win games, and be a winner. He's got probably the best coach in the NFL, Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he's been to several Super Bowls with a couple of different teams. I mean, he was a winner, in Philadelphia. He's going to be a winner in Kansas City. And I don't think that there's really many coaches that you're going to say are even on the level that Andy Reid is. So they got a top-level quarterback. They got a top-level coach. They're playing a brutal schedule. They're playing all these top teams. They're not having games where hey, we got to rest. We don't have to try that hard. This team stinks. We can beat them. They're playing all these teams in their division that are going to be rough teams to beat. Even Denver, you might think isn't even that great, but now that they have a good quarterback with their great defense, they're always going to be in the running in those games. There's never going to be games where, like I said, they're going to be able to just rest. They're going to have to work this whole season, and they're going to make it up to the top. They're going to get into the playoffs. They're going to win some playoff games, and then we're going to be able to see them advance. And I believe that they're going to be this year's Super Bowl winner, even if their defense isn't, maybe top notch. I think that Patrick Mahomes can make this team score as many points as he needs to, just like he did last year against the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. He'll score as many as it takes just so they can get over that hump. So I hope that this is informative to you people, and that you maybe put a little bit of money down on Kansas City and see if you can't make yourself a little bit of a come up. We'll see you again next time, and I'm Brent, and have a great weekend.